How's it going, YouTube? This is Manny from Manny Fresh Bets, bringing you my first basket picks for today, Monday, February 27, 2023. If this is the first time watching one of my videos, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, comment, and share. As you guys that follow me on Twitter, I let you guys know I was taking the week off. It's just kind of a weird week right after All-Star break. A lot of weird things happening. If you see me looking to the side, this is where I got my whole setup, my computer and everything. So just things that I've noticed in terms of weird things happening. In terms of made first baskets, some of these guys made the first baskets in the games after the All-Star break. So we got Gary Harris from Orlando. He got the first basket twice. You got Kessler from Utah, Nazir Little from Portland, Daniel Gayford, or Gafford, I'm not sure how do you pronounce his name, from the Wizards. Then you got Tyler Hero, which obviously, he's a bigger name, but he hardly gets the first basket. This is kind of just showing you guys kind of the weird things has been happening after All-Star break. RJ Barrett, another guy that's obviously, a superstar or a star for the Knicks, but he hardly gets the first basket. Then you got Jeremy Sohan for the Spurs, Xavier Tillman from the Grizzlies. Then you got Jaden McDaniels, and then James Wiseman got a first basket. So this is the reason why I told you guys, and if you follow me on Twitter at Manny Fresh Bets, I told you guys I'm taking that first week off, not doing any betting. I did a few things here and there, like parlays and stuff. Did a few hockey things. I actually stayed over family's house in New York City, and I downloaded Price Picks. If you guys don't have that, I definitely recommend it. I hit a few on Price Picks there for shots on goals and a few NBA things, but I didn't do too much. Definitely didn't do any first baskets because I knew things were going to be a little bit crazy. So getting to the picks. So if this is the first time watching my videos, I usually do like 2 or 3 parlays. One that I call my go-to guys parlays, which is basically the guys that I trust the most. Then I'll give you a second, sometimes a third parlay, and then I'll give you kind of a long shot parlay. Then after that, I'll give you my straight up picks. So for this first game, we got the 76ers and the Heat. They still haven't played a game, which was surprising to me, especially it's, past All-Star game. And these two teams haven't played each other yet. So it's a little bit unknown right here. But if you've been watching videos, if you've been following NBA since All-Star break, NB just continues to get first baskets left and right. He's killing it. For me, it's a three-man race. In terms of MVP, is Jokic, I think, is leading it. NB, Tatum is probably 1A, 2A, 2B, and then it's Luka. So really 4 guys, but in reality, I think it's those 3. So no surprise, go-to guys parlay. I'm gonna start it off with Embiid for that Heat 76ers game. Then for the next game, we got the Hornets and the Pistons. They played 2 games already. The problem is that both games, Plumlee was doing the tips. And obviously, he got traded to the Clippers. I actually think that was a very good pickup for them, not only on the defensive end, but also rebounds. And you saw PG-13 try to do a couple of lobs to Plumlee. He's that type of player. Very active on both ends of the floor. So like I said, he's gone. And then now with Wiseman going to Detroit, Durant and Wiseman are kind of splitting the tip. Who's going to tip off? So this one's kind of an unknown. And again, after the NBA All-Star break, things are kind of funky. You have a lot of new teams, a lot of new players, a lot of trades, things like that. So this is why I wanted to wait at least a week. I think it's going to take a little bit more than that, just to kind of know the rotations. Like, for example, last night, I had a prize pick bet with Westbrook for over 6 assists. He stayed on 4, didn't play the fourth quarter at all. and didn't play the overtime at all. So that kind of bummed me out because, I lost the bet. But these are the type of things that, I'm kind of noticing where, the rotations. Plumlee was playing well. That's probably the reason why Westbrook didn't play as much. But I didn't see a reason to keep him on the bench for the whole fourth quarter, especially in a close game, and then for overtime. So, these things are things that we got to learn as we move on. So kind of like Embiid says, just kind of trust the process right now. We're going to keep going with the guys that, have made us money in the past. Eventually they're going to cash for us like they've been doing, pre-All-Star break when we were hitting, straight up bets like crazy. We had a day where we hit 6 straight up bets in a row. We had, a lot of the round robin, which again, if you guys been watching me for a while, or if the first time, make sure you round robin these parlays, just because, you could hit 3 out of 4. And if you didn't do the round robin, you lose out on your money. You don't make any money. If you round robin and you hit 3 and you bet it by 2s, by 3s, you're going to make some money back. So make sure you're doing that. So again, for these Hornets-Pistons game, it's kind of up in the air just because Plumlee's not there. Durant and Wiseman are splitting tips. But if you want to know, game 1 that they played, Plumlee won the tip, and then Oubre makes a free throw. He got fouled and made a free throw. So that was the first basket in that game. The second game, Plumlee won the tip. Ball misses a 3. LaMelo. Then Burks misses a jumper, and then Bogdanovich makes a jumper. So, we got splitting. We got Detroit with the first basket the second game. Hornets with the first basket in the first game. For this one, I'm going with Terry Rozier. He showed me that, he's kind of taken this this role of, I don't want to say that he's the top scorer. I think he is scoring the most on the team, but he is kind of the go-to guy, even though, LaMelo Ball is more of a flashier player. Rozier gets his buckets, and he gets them in bunches. So, excuse me, I'm going to trust Rozier there. So far, we got Embiid and Rozier. For this third game, we have the Celtics and the Knicks. Again, this is 2 games that could be probably thrown away. Both games, Robinson didn't play for the Knicks. Jaylen Brown is out for this game as of right now. And again, as I tell you in all my videos, I make these very early in the morning. FanDuel and ESPN haven't updated the status of all the players. But as of right now, Jaylen Brown is out. White is day-to-day, but I think he's going to play. So again, just for those 2 games, Griffin won the tip in the first game, and Brown makes a 3-pointer. Second game, Robert Williams wins the tip against Jericho Sims, and then Brown makes a jumper again. So Brown has made the first basket twice in these 2 when these 2 teams have played. Unfortunately, he's not playing today. So I'm going to go with the second best option, and I'm going to go with Tatum. Again, a guy that I trust, a guy that I think is, and again, I looked at the stats and I looked at the play-by-play. Both games, he was very aggressive to start the games. Most of the time he is. So I'm going to trust Tatum there for this game. So I got Embiid, Rozier, and Tatum. Then the last game, again, Magic and Pelicans, East versus West. They've only played 1 game, and that was back in January. Carter Jr. won the tip, as he usually does. Then Valanciunas blocks Harris, which, again, Harris is showing up a lot lately. Just a weird thing. Then Valanciunas misses a jumper. Harris takes another shot. He misses a 3. And then C.J. McCollum makes a jumper. So he got the first basket in that game. In terms of my pick for my go-to guys, I'm going to go with Ingram. If you guys been watching me and listen to me and follow me on Twitter, I like Ingram. He's kind of my go-to guy. I think he's underrated, and I'm going to go with him there. So go-to guys parlay, we're going to have Embiid, Rozier, Tatum, and Ingram. In terms of the ones that maybe I will make a change, I'll maybe throw in LaMelo Ball in there instead of Rozier if you want. But I think, Rozier is probably going to be the best bet there. It seems like LaMelo picks it up a little bit later in the game. For the second parlay, For the 76ers and the Heat, I'm going to go with James Harden. He's been picking up his scoring a lot. I think he had like 30-something points the other game. He's kind of starting to, get that rhythm, get that offensive rhythm. Instead of just passing, he's scoring way more. And I think they're going to need that, especially when they make the playoffs. So I'm going to go with James Harden. Then for the Knicks and the Celtics, again, I do think that the Celtics are going to win the tip-off here with Robert Williams. But Robinson hasn't been bad since he's come back in terms of winning the tip-off. So, it could kind of go either way now. But I'm going to trust Jalen Brunson. That's the guy that we cashed quite a few times. And he was pretty hot on first baskets, for maybe like 2-3 days or a week. And we cashed a few times with him. So, again, I'm going to trust him. The offense tends to run through him. He's usually, handling the ball, passing it off or shooting. So I'm going to take him for my second pick of my second parlay. Then for the Magic and the Pels, I'm going to go with Carter Jr., Wendell Carter Jr. I mean, again, another guy that we've cashed with straight up in the past. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm going to take him there. Then for the last game, Hornets and Pistons, I kind of forgot about Gordon Hayward. He's been scoring the first basket a few times, in the last couple of weeks. And I'm gonna take him here again. It's kind of what I mentioned to you a few weeks ago. These guys that aren't go-to guys like LaMelo, Rozier. These guys are go-to guys that are probably gonna take over a game. These guys like Gordon Hayward. He's probably going to try to score and get his early because he knows at the end of the games, if it's a close game, Rozier, LaMelo are going to take over. So I'm going to go with him. So that's my second parlay. We got Harden for the Sixers. We got Brunson for the Knicks. We got Carter for the Magic. And then we got Hayward for the Hornets. And then I did a couple of other parlays. I mean, it's only 4 games, so I said, you know what, let's do a couple of more parlays. We're not risking much here. Again, don't use your whole bankroll on these first baskets. They're very hard to hit. And they're hit or miss. So, budget your bankroll accordingly. If you have a bankroll, let's say of $100, a week, and you're only doing first baskets for a day, use $5, use $10, $20 probably the most, if you're gonna do the first baskets, because again, these are hard to hit, and if you're doing round robin, again, your bankroll could decrease very, very rapidly if you're doing the round robins for every single parlay. So that's just kind of a tip there for you guys. For the third parlay, I'm gonna go with Ball for the Hornets. I'm going to go with Jimmy Butler for the Heat. He actually hit a first basket, I think, like 2 games ago. Then I'm going to go with Tatum again. I mean, that's just a guy I trust. And then I'm going to go with someone that we haven't picked in a while, but he was cashing for us in the beginning of the year, and that's Vancaro for the Orlando Magic. I told you guys once Wendell Carter Jr. came back from injury, Vancaro's probably going to, not make the first basket as many times. And sure enough, Wendell Carter started kind of taking over that first basket and taking the first shots. That's why we cashed with him, and I kind of figured that was going to be the case because he is ball dominant. But I'm going to trust Bancaro, to take advantage of his, a matchup and score the first basket. So that third parlay, we're going with LaMelo. We're going with Jimmy Butler. We're going with Tatum again. And then we're going with Vancaro for the Orlando Magics. The long shot parlay, and hear me out on this one. Wiseman already hit a first basket. He looks like he's getting more used to the offense and getting more used to being in that Detroit offense. So I'm going to go with him for a long shot. So I'm going to go with Wiseman in that Detroit Hornets game. Then I got Bam Adebayo. That's somebody that, again, we trusted him and we cashed with him before, but ever since then I've been, kind of keeping away from him just because I don't know. He's just a weird player. He'll have 30 points, 15 rebounds one game, then he'll come back the next game and he'll have, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 5 rebounds, and, you know, even playing the same amount of minutes. So I don't know what's going on there. So we kind of, you know, he was on the no bet list for a while. We're going to trust him here. Hopefully he does make it. And we're going to go with him there. Then for the Knicks and the Celtics, I'm going to take R.J. Barrett again, a guy that doesn't hit the first baskets often, but he's kind of been more aggressive to start games since the All-Star break, and he's hit once already after the All-Star break. So I'm going to go with him. Then for the last pick, we're going to go with someone that made the first basket in the first game that the Magic and the Pelicans played, and that's C.J. McCollum. So I'm going to bank that he's going to be a little bit aggressive in start of that game and hopefully, you know, make that first basket. So the long shot parlay is Wiseman, Bam, R.J. Barrett, and C.J. McCollum. In terms of the straight up picks, I'm going to go in the Hornets and Pistons. I'm going to go with Bogdanovich and Rozier. You know, two guys. Bogdanovich is the leading scorer for the Detroit Pistons. He's going to get his early and often. And then, like I mentioned, Rozier is probably their best scorer. I mean, again, you know, LaMelo Ball is the more ball dominant player, the more flashier player, definitely the better player overall. But Rozier, I think, is a better scorer. You know, I think he can get more shots. He usually scores more than LaMelo, and LaMelo's usually looking for him to score, you know, 3-pointers, jumpers, off a pick and roll, something like that. So I'm taking Bogdanovich and Rozier for my straight up pick for that game. For the 76ers and the Heat, right now, like I said, Hero is day to day, but I'm going with Embiid and Hero. Those are gonna be my two guys that I'm gonna go with. Embiid, obviously, we already talked about. Then for the next game, I'm gonna go with Tatum and Julius Randle. You know, two guys that are probably their, you know, the leading scorers on their team, and guys that are gonna look for their shot very early and very often. Finally, for the Pelicans against the Magic, I'm gonna go with Valanciunas, somebody that we've cast before a lot in the past. He's been kind of dying down, so that's why we haven't picked him yet. You know, picked him as much. But I'm gonna go back to what I know and somebody that, you know, that I can trust. Hopefully, you know, things work themselves out after this All-Star break. They start getting back to normal, and Valanciunas starts taking those first shots. Then for the last one there, I'm gonna take Franz Wagner again, someone that we've cast in the past before, and I believe that he can, you know, he has a shot to make that first basket. So again, straight up picks: Bogdanovich and Rozier, Embiid and Hero, Tatum and Randle, and then Valanciunas and Wagner in that Pelicans Orlando game. So that's gonna do it there, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share. Follow me on Twitter at Manny Fresh Bets. If you took the time to watch this video, I greatly appreciate it if you guys share with people that, you know, could learn something from this, that bet. FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever you use. Definitely, you know, share the video, like it, comment. I like seeing the comments. A lot of you guys are commenting, DMing me on Twitter. I love that kind of stuff because it gets me, you know, we kind of have a two-way conversation instead of just me, you know, posting this video. So again, greatly appreciate it. Thanks a lot, everyone, for, you know, the new followers on Twitter, the new subscribers on YouTube. Can't thank you guys enough. I'm over 700 subscribers now on the channel. When I started this, I wouldn't think I would have reached 100. So again, guys, take care. Let's cash these. God bless, and we will talk soon.